Hello, EKN Nation, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Howden here alongside David Cole, and it is here. The biggest race of the year, final race of the year on the national schedule, the Superkarts USA SuperNationals at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, about set to go. And we'll kick things off right now with our really initial installment, the first gear, if you will, of our EKN Trackside coverage for this year's race. It is the EKN OutLap, our preview podcast, one of two. More than one with the categories coming up for this year's SuperNationals. Episode 99, that means episode 2 of the show will be 100. Love that, getting to the end of the 2025 season. It's November the 5th. It is a Wednesday. We'll be leaving to head back to Las Vegas on Monday. Lots to roll through here as we get started with the first edition of the OutLap, our first of 2 volumes for this year's SuperNational. Today's OutLap brought to you by Parolin USA. Parolin USA is North America's source for Parolin products. The brand is rich in history and success, dating back to the early 1990s throughout Europe. Today, Parolin is among the winningest brands in the USA and around the world. Carters can head to the ParolinUSA.com website, where the entire chassis line and parts are available to you, with shipping available across North America within 48 hours. Get on the chassis that's winning. Drive a Parolin. All right, David Cole, let's go green with our coverage. SuperNationals number 28, November 12th to the 16th. Back out to Las Vegas Motor Speedway for what will be 5 action-packed days to see who comes out as the winners on Super Sunday.
That's the goal, to get the P1 position on Super Sunday. Obviously, lots to unpack throughout the 5 days of on track. You got practice, you got qualifying, you got heat races, last chance qualifiers, and then you roll into Super Sunday with the main events. And that's what everybody's gunning for right now.
Find speed, stay off the walls.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's not always as easy as it sounds, but
Very
that
true.
is the ultimate goal. Be as fast as you can without hitting the wall. And that's the nature of the temporary circuits. You know, obviously Superkarts USA SuperNationals has its roots back to the old Race City Kartway. I said it wrong.
Remember, you came up with Race Kart City Raceway.
Race Kart City Raceway. Whoever came up with that name didn't know what the heck they were talking about. But yeah, it's since those early days, everything's been temporary from 2002 to now. Yeah. So that's kind of the nature of the beast. The SuperNationals is, we talk about street racing all the time and how nobody wants to do it, but yet we'll get 580 entries here racing in a parking lot outside the Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
That is so true. And as David said, the first number of years out at Race Kart City Raceway, which not surprisingly was named at a change of ownership to the Las Vegas Karting Center, would eventually become, after SCUSA had gone into Las Vegas, would become the Xplex. But yeah, first run was, David, at the Rio, right? Then it went to Sam Boyd Stadium. UNLV, their football stadium, right? Sam Boyd Stadium. And then it moved from Sam Boyd back to the Rio.
Correct.
The numbers back to the Rio. Then from the Rio to, did we go to the Westgate after that? Right? Westgate.
Well, it's technically the convention center, but yeah, Westgate / convention center for 3 editions, and then back to the Rio.
Back to the Rio. And then out to, again, as we know, out to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the last couple of years, 3rd year there. David, let's one of the things, obviously, everybody's always, because it's a temporary circuit, because it's a parking lot circuit, and has been since 2002. Everybody obviously awaiting what the track layout is going to be. It's not a big change from last year, which is a bit of a surprise to me.
No, it's not. That's what I just pulled up before we started our show to make sure I could. That's something I haven't been able to do yet, was actually look at the diagrams, and yeah, they're pretty much carbon copy. The biggest difference is the inner part of the racetrack, and that would be essentially from turn 7 to what was 11 will now just be turn 7 to turn 8. They got rid of essentially what was the big right hand kind of sweeper in the middle of the racetrack that led to a quick left kind of chicane area. That's all completely gone. So you get your essentially double rights now into a long straightaway that goes to turn 8, which was the very fast right-hand kink that led you to the left or southern part of the racetrack. So it's going to be a very fast racetrack. There's no doubt about that, because that chicane really did set apart the quick from the not quick in terms of getting through there. There's a lot of guys going into the barriers trying to get through that chicane very fast. I thought it was probably the coolest part of the racetrack, in all honesty, because again, it separated the good from the bad, and that's essentially kind of what you need. So this change is definitely going to make it easier, I think, for the drivers. It's going to make it faster. Now, are they going to change up some of the gaps? Because I know one thing that when we talked to Neil Strickland is safety aspect, and what is now turn 8 was that very fast kink. And if you recall, there was a number of incidents there, one in a red flag situation in KA Master. There was just no runoff room there. It was just strictly basically into the orange barriers. There was no photo area in that area because the racetrack was too close to one another. I hope they separate that some, but with the diagram that I have here, which is matching last year's, it's even closer to one another. So we'll see. Again, building the racetrack and then actually having a diagram are two different things. We just dealt with that with the Rock Vegas event. The racetrack they had designed didn't exactly go the way they wanted, so they had to tweak it a little bit. And it ended up being a really good racetrack, an easy racetrack, but a very fast racetrack.
Yeah, I'm with you on the fact that they kind of pulled that technical S's section out of the between turn 7 and 8. I thought that was kind of a good deal. Bottom line is, folks, 7/10 of a mile, 13 corners as laid out with the diagram that Superkarts USA has posted on their social media. So running in the counterclockwise direction. Let's throw that out there as well. The track, the fourth time we've been, as I said, last 3 years in a row at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. David just banging out some of the stats here. The eastern portion of the facility outside the backstretch and turn 3 of the NASCAR Oval. And indeed, David, I think we haven't brought this up yet, but when they first designed it, there was a lot of inspiration based on the survey they put out last year for the Mont Tremblant circuit up in Quebec, Canada.
That was kind of the genesis of the layout. Obviously, when you put something on paper and put it in a parking lot, as I just said, it becomes a little different. So that's kind of the inspiration for the layout. And again, very similar. So last year was 18 corners. This year it's only 13, with the removal of the S's and the very tight section there in the middle of the racetrack. So still has that 850-foot long straightaway that we saw the shifters get really fast down. And obviously turn 1 was a very key component in a lot of the races we saw on Super Sunday.
Agreed. Yeah, very, very quick for sure. 850-foot straightaway. David, you mentioned a little bit about the fact that we're there Wednesday to Sunday. Why don't you run us through what practice looks like, or rather what the event schedule looks like for the SuperNationals, of course, all leading to Super Sunday.
I will try to do that my best. 4 rounds of practice on Wednesday. Those are all 7-minute sessions. The last session will set you up for your qualifying group that will run on Thursday, and that will be after 2 rounds of practice, one 7-minute and one 12-minute session. And again, the last session of that 12-minute session will actually set the order that you will leave in your qualifying group. So again, 2 very crucial practice sessions, one on Wednesday, and of course, basically what they call happy hour on Thursday.
Yeah, don't I remember that? I got taken out in that one and started dead last in my qualifying group at the very last guy on the track.
Well, if you could warm up your tires, it probably would have worked out well.
No. A guy spun in front of me and I couldn't get out of the way, David. Remember that. But yes, I will say if I could have warmed up my tires, it would have been a lot better.
Qualifying.
All
so
right.
That'll wrap up the Thursday action for all the groups. Again, a quick little 5-minute session. So hopefully we won't get the games that get played by the little reindeers out on the racetrack trying to find the fastest rabbit to follow.
Agreed.
Friday, we'll have warm-up and then 2 rounds of heat races. Saturday, warm-up, 1 round of heat races, and the last chance qualifiers for the 5 categories that will have those sessions to set the main event grids, which will be run on Sunday.
Also, David, to one thing we haven't dropped in there yet, but the morning and afternoon sessions as well, right?
That is correct, Rob. It's a little bit different this year. They've kind of changed things up a little bit. Both master categories are going to be in the morning. So they put master shifter in the morning along with micro Swift. And then you'll have all 3 KA categories, junior, senior, and master. Afternoon sessions will include X30 Junior, Mini Swift, Pro X30, and Pro Shifter. The ones running last chance qualifiers, that'll be KA Junior and KA Senior in the morning groups, and then X30 Junior, Pro X30, and Pro Shifter running LCQ. So
I just hate seeing the Masters have to run in the morning, because I think when you're 32 and 30 and up, whatever it is for 30 up for SCUSA, you should be able to go out for a nice dinner, stay up a little bit later, and roll into the track around noon. I always like putting the Masters categories in the afternoon. That was my jam.
Yeah, well, we're not in charge.
No, we are not, David. That is it right there.
Well, and it can be done. And that was the one thing they were kind of rotating them. 1 year one class would be in the morning, the next year they'd move to the afternoon. So you got that little bit of rotation. I hope it does come back. I think that has the opportunity. I don't understand the whole Mini Swift in the afternoon. I don't know if it's because all the mechanics work on micros and minis. I don't know if that's a situation. But that would be the one class I would think that should be in the morning, only because one, it's kids. Two, it's because no reason for them to be running under the lights. Masters guys should be running under the lights. And
agreed.
Obviously you have to have the junior category split up that way. So
100%.
It's not exactly. But again, Masters guys could be done. They could be into a 12 pack by 2:00 in the afternoon.
Hey, listen,
bed by 8, right?
I was gonna say, if they're smart and rolling out for a nice steak dinner at 5:00, the blue light special.
I mean, why not, right? It doesn't have to be dark to have a good, nice steak, right? I mean,
true.
As we looked at, the Golden Steer closes at 9:30, so
you're right. No, 100%.
5:00 might be prime time for the fresh, good meat at the legendary steakhouse.
We're literally treating the Masters drivers like they're all 80 years old down in Florida, like having dinner at 3:00 or 4:00 and being in bed by 7. That's hilarious. All right, folks, as your first segment here, as we're underway with our first of 2 OutLap podcasts for this year's SCUSA SuperNationals. Rob Howden here alongside David Cole. After this break, we're going to come back. We'll have a look at by the numbers. Big numbers for this year's event. History, success, family. Those are the 3 words that can describe Comet Kart Sales, one of the longest tenured karting businesses in the United States. The family-owned operation located just outside of Indianapolis has provided karts, parts, and services for thousands of racers in the near 6 decades of business. Their online store features everything you need, continually adding new parts to their product line. From full karting packages, new engines, spare or replacement parts, and safety gear, find it all at CometKartSales.com. Their Comet Racing Engine service has won multiple major events and championships over decades of karting and continues to offer the best trackside service in the industry, specializing in IAME X30, IAME Swift, and other 2-cycle power plants. Make sure to head to CometKartSales.com or call them at 317-462-3413 to be part of the Comet Kart Sales family today.
Welcome to AIM Sports and the groundbreaking Micron 6 karting data logger. Since its inception, AIM Sports has been at the forefront of motorsport technology, revolutionizing how racers gather data. From its early days, AIM has tailored its innovations to provide precise insights, allowing racers to fine-tune their strategies and push their limits. Fast forward to today, and we're excited to celebrate 30 years of Micron by introducing the latest evolution in karting data loggers, the Micron 6. Designed with cutting-edge features, including 25Hz GPS with mil-spec precision, a 6-axis inertial platform, shift lights and alarms, temperature inputs, and a host of wired and wireless expansions. With 2 CAN buses, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi, it's perfect for karting enthusiasts looking to enhance their game on the track. With its advanced suite of sensors, high-speed data acquisition, and easy-to-use interface, the Micron 6 delivers unparalleled performance on track. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, this powerful tool helps you analyze every turn, every lap, even every heartbeat. Imagine a tool that not only records your lap times, but also analyzes parameters like speed, tire temperature, driver inputs, and engine performance. With the Micron 6, you'll gain insights that can shave seconds off your times and elevate your skills behind the wheel. Don't just drive, be data-driven. Join the AIM Sports community today and equip yourself with the Micron 6 to take your karting experience to the next level. Visit aimsports.com to learn more. AIM Sports, 30 years of Micron.
All right, folks, we're back here again for the OutLap preview podcast for this year's SuperNationals, SuperNationals. It is episode number 99. Tomorrow's, of course, will be number 100. Been banging these out for the last number of years. This particular segment will be a shorter one. It's by the numbers, and obviously these shows aren't going to be as long. We're only focusing on 4 categories here for this initial show: Micro Swift, Mini Swift, 100cc Junior, and Master Shifter. And we'll talk about the rest of the categories tomorrow. But Dave, will be touching on the overall numbers once again. This year, 383 current entries as we sit down here to record the podcast. You go back to 2021, and the biggest since then really was 586 in 2022. So they're 3 away from topping, the biggest they've had in the last 4 or 5 years. So listen, with some walk-ups, but always balanced with the cancellations. They can potentially get to 60 entries, but the key is can they get there? I mean, probably 600 entries. Can they get there? Is there any room? A lot of these classes are sold out.
Yeah, 584. Sorry, I had it marked off wrong.
584 now
because of getting the numbers correct. Again, some classes are still open, so they're still taking some late entries there. 584 is the exact total. I did forget to fill in the last 2 categories. We got 72 for K100 Junior, so there's room. Definitely opportunity for junior drivers to get in in that category. I'm not sure it was close to being sold out, so there's definitely been a number of cancellations in that category. And then Master Shifter, we did get a few late entries in that, one that we knew of from last week. So they had that at 50 last year. So obviously they oversold it. So it would be tough to get back up to that 50 mark. But
where are we now? Do you know where we are?
It's at 41 right now. So it's going to be tough. 41. Yeah. So it'll be tough to get up to that 50 mark. I don't think we got 9 guys on the fence.
And this is the way it normally goes, right? At least I know all the conversations I've had over the years with Scoos is they cap it at 44, right? But the key is that any organization will tell you you're probably going to get in a big race like this. You kind of plan for 10% cancellations. People can't make it, flight issues, whatever it may be, right? There's problems with whatever.
Border issues.
Border issues, 100%. So if you go at 48 entries, you're expecting to drop 4. So 47, 48 is normally where they'll push to, knowing they're going to get some cancellations. Obviously, lots of room. If you're going to go 2 groups in KA100 Junior, there's essentially room for 16 more guys to come in, or drivers to come in if they want to come into juniors. So again, there's always opportunities. But David, listen, full fields and micro, full fields and mini. You and I both love when we see full fields in those cadet categories.
Yeah, we knew, looking at micro the last 5 years, it's been sold out. That was a given. Yeah. And, they did drop mini down to 1 group in 2022 to help with the other categories expanding. So it's been sold out the last 4 years. Again, 48 at the number. So as you said, a couple, 4 drivers oversold, but again, just counting on possible cancellations. So not too much of an oversell. So they're able to kind of welcome those 4 extra entries for the week. So yeah, good. We knew we were going to have solid numbers there. I assume they were among the first to kind of sell out in that massive 500 entries in 72 hours that Superkarts right? USA did have. So
unbelievable.
But yeah, I'm shocked at the K100 Junior. I'm not sure why that didn't get up to where it was last year. Obviously, the ebbs and flows of the sport. We know a handful of drivers that were in junior this year that are already moving up. Yeah. So that could be part of the factor. But still, would have thought that would have sold out.
72 in the KA100 junior class, 41, as David had mentioned, a master shifter. Master shifter down by 9 from last year, the K100 down by 10. Overall, though, up by 38 entries, pre-entries. There was 546 entries last year, up 38 all told. So again, ebbs and flows, like we said, up and down here and there. We'll see more of the ups in tomorrow's show as well. Another quick break. When we come back, time to dive into it, folks. Our first class to have a look at after this break will be Micro Swift, brought to you by Velocity Racing by Sony USA. What brand is known around the world for its innovation and success? It is Superkarts. The Sony brand returned in full force during the 2023 season thanks to a new exclusive importer, the karting distribution led by industry veteran Terry Germanovich. The French manufacturer Superkarts is a leader within the karting industry, offering a wide range of products and services. The Sony Racing chassis line offers products in classes from mini karts to KZ, all based on years of development and championship seasons around the world. Sony Racing USA has expanded its dealer network over the last year, bringing the Sony brand to several local clubs and regional programs. Sony USA by Velocity Racing is the official race team in the United States for the brand, hitting all the major events and series throughout the season. Visit Sony-Racing-USA.com to learn more about the Sony kart chassis or call 954-634-5111 to become part of the Sony Racing USA network today. Sony Kart, the world leader in the karting industry. Ready to step up your game? Joining the Rawlison Performance Group is the obvious choice to take your racing to the next level. Industry-leading driver development is provided by our staff of multi-time national champions, SuperNationals winners, and Team USA members. And at the same time, RPG continues to be a national-level powerhouse race team. Our goal is to help you raise your game and win races. We work with all age groups and are focused on developing those cadet and junior drivers who are ready to take the next step in their racing program. Rawlison Performance Group has set a new standard with our in-house engine program, AVP Engines, headed by Alex Vincent. AVP has become the benchmark in IAME competition. We have the largest OTK inventory that follows our race team, providing trackside parts at all the major events in North America. RPG also offers multilingual support with French, Spanish, and Portuguese-speaking staff. If you want to fight for championships or want to improve your skills and your chances to win, the answer is to call RPG at 503-260-4514. The Rawlison Performance Group. We race to win. Back at it with episode 99 of the EKN OutLap, kicking off our EKN Trackside coverage of this year's Superkarts USA SuperNationals, edition number 28. And of course, throughout the entire week, David will roll in there with the Paddock Insider, lots of social media all week long, daily reports. Then we'll come home and wrap things up with the debriefs as well. So, David, one thing as we get started in this, it's Wednesday here. You've already got started with your previews, your articles, actually. The class previews are already going up on the website as well. You've been sharing those on social media. So obviously we're going to talk about it here in the podcast, but they're all available. All the individual class previews available on the website, or will be at least by the time we get to the racetrack.
They will be. Yeah, we did start yesterday working our way forward again with the Rock Cup, Rock Vegas event that we were at, kind of delayed things a little bit in terms of getting our previews up and actually our previews written and be done. So so we're kind of doing a little bit of a quick look at all the categories, trying to dive deep as much as we possibly can with some good stats, some good figures, and of course the drivers who we think are going to be in the mix. We're going to follow it up with our predictions on Monday. So we'll just do a social media prediction. I know we typically have done it in our show, our outlaps before, but that was when we were doing it live. We were doing some interviews. Just didn't quite have the timeline to be able to do all that. So
I think timeline's key right now, doing the double of both races. And I know you're flat out. I've been flat out. It's been a little nuts over the last month.
Yeah. So not being able to, get back online. Maybe we'll try that again next year, depending on schedule and everything like that. But maybe they'll close registration earlier so we can make sure we have the correct information moving forward. Because again, we want to make sure we get all the right stats and figures and as much as we possibly can. So, but yeah, our predictions will come on the Monday as we travel to Las Vegas. We'll have them up on social media. We'll do a quick little article of that as well, to be able to give you a little insight into who we're thinking. Obviously, we might be able to tease a little bit into possible podium finishers that we do see in each category here.
We'll have a look. All right, let's get started with Micro Swift right now. Brought to you, as I said before the break, by Velocity Racing, by Sodi USA. 47 entries, as we had mentioned before. You look at the big winners over the last number of years. Of course, Zane Burgess scoring the race win last year. Maxwell Macha has been on top of the box. Jackson Gibson a couple of years ago back at the Rio. One Keelan Harvick, who's moved his way, of course, into a lot of pro late model racing now. Brad Majman, who's a driver who's now running in the USF Pro Championships, the Aussie winning the micro category back in 2019. Ben Mayer, we see him running in TA2 Trans Am. Vinnie Phillips in 2017, the British driver, then Brazilian Vinicius Tesaro back in 2016. David, I guess, when you're going to say who is going to step up early, a lot of times you'll again, when it's SCUSA competition, you look at the SCUSA Pro Tour, you look at the SCUSA Winter Nationals, right? Or the Winter Series. You see the drivers who are kind of in the top 5 there. And that's kind of your go-to early on. Like, you know what? These drivers came out of the gate strong in the winter. They did well in the Pro Tour. Probably make sure we have a focus on them coming into the Super Nationals.
Well, one of the first stats you look at, how many former winners are in the field, and we don't have any. So in this category, right? Obviously with Zane Burgess moving up into the mini ranks, obviously Maxwell Macha up there as well too. We'll talk about them in our next segment. But no zero former winners in the field. You kind of look at who was the top brass in the SCUSA Pro Tour. All 5 of the top 5 finishers in the championship going to be in this field. That includes Superkarts USA Pro Tour champion Brody Stoffel. This is a kid who's gone to many different karts. He's been Kart Republic. He's been CRG at the regional program. Now he's moving over to Ryan Perry Motorsport and the Nitro Kart, as the Texan is going to make his debut with them aboard that category or aboard that kart. So a new colors for the Pro Tour champion, as he'll carry the 201 plate in Las Vegas. Yeah,
that's a big move, I think, right? In my mind, when you're jumping over at the Super Nationals on a new chassis. So we'll see how Brody Stoffel does there, running with the Ryan Perry Motorsports crew. Obviously, Dave, one of the things we always look at as well when it comes to this event is, hey, was there a temporary circuit parking lot race happened maybe before the Super Nats, right? So Rock Vegas. So man, drivers fast at Rock Vegas and that kind of similar track, barrier-lined racetrack. Who else is going to step up? Lennox Lockhart, Dutch Westbrook, 2 drivers who were super good at the Rio last weekend.
Yeah, they were in contention all week long. An amazing drive by Dutch Westbrook.
Man.
Coming from 15th to win that main event in the Rock Micro division. The Team Bannock driver finishing 4th in the SCUSA Pro Tour Championship. Lockhart finishing 2nd this year in the Velocity Racing Sodi Kart. So expect them to be in the hunt. Dutch Westbrook was 10th last year. Lockhart 16th in the main event in Micro Swift last year.
So let's look at the other drivers that were in the SCUSA Pro Tour points. Zev Gottschalk and Aiden Go. Aiden actually had a pretty good run at Rock Vegas to work his way forward as well. So 2 other drivers I think we would expect to be up front, correct?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Go is a 2-time Pro Tour winner, winning both races at the Spring Nationals. Sorry. And Zev Gottschalk, the brother of Win Gottschalk, a driver who finished well here last year. Zev was a DNF last year, but has been racing here in the USA and in Europe, finishing 3rd this year in the Pro Tour.
Who else do you want to lean into right now out of the gate, Dave? We talked about Stoffel winning the Pro Tour, winning the Texas Sprint Racing Series. A couple of drivers out of Texas, too. Tyler Blackwood, Shep Sullivan, Dusty Strayer, and Wyatt White. Those 4 drivers joining Stoffel in the top 5 of the TSRS points.
Some other drivers that have some victories recently. You look at Jack Katowski for TKG Burrell Art USA, the driver winning the Micro Max race, while Samuel Chaveri, the Costa Rican winning the Mini Max division at that U.S. Trophy final at Newcastle. Both of them were in contention in the Rock Micro division at Rock Vegas as well, both under the Burrell Art banner. Cheveri with PSL Karting, and again, Katowski with TKG. Hudson Howard, another winner recently. I believe that was the Cup Karts North America Grand Nationals, if I recall. He won that. Yep.
And I think David, you're bang on it. When you're winning big races like this, you mentioned the big three with the Rotax US Trophy Final, then the Rock Vegas and the SuperNationals. Then what did you call it? The Fantastic Four? Was that what it was?
Yeah.
When you throw the CKNA Grand Nationals in there, and when you step up. And this is going to go for all the categories we talk about. But when you step up in a big race like that, you mentioned Cheveri winning at the U.S. Trophy Final. You got Howard winning at CKNA Grand Nationals. When you step up at big races like that, that's what we expect. But it comes as no surprise if you rise to the occasion at the SuperNationals as well.
Without a doubt. And, one of the things about the micro category is experience. There's only 5 drivers that are going to be racing for their third time at the SuperNationals.
That's wild.
So very, very interesting on that. Aiden Go, one of them. Cheveri, one of them. And also Alvaro Medeiros for Osterland Racing. And he'll be coming back from a 15th last year. And he's been kind of, up front throughout the season in the U.S. competition.
One of the things, David, that kind of caught my eye when you brought it, your notes here was number one, obviously 6 different countries represented in the field, right? Which was amazing. But 35 first-time SuperNationals competitors, 47 in the field, 35 are coming to the SuperNats for the very first time. Not surprising. They are in the micro category, but man, that's a lot of young drivers coming to this race for the first time to get a chance to experience what is the biggest race in North America.
Yeah, it's not an event you kind of jump to out of kid karts. So majority of these drivers are of the age of 8 or older, even 10 for the micro Swift. There's a couple 7-year-olds that are in the field, like a Trey Sanders or a Casello, Marcano, and a couple others as well too. So, but again, it's not something they kind of jump out to right out of kid card. Hey, let's go to SuperNationals, right?
Right.
So again, I think that's what you see. You see some of these drivers kind of building up an experience, getting more comfortable, because throwing them out to the SuperNationals, that's definitely a big hurdle to have anytime you get barriers around you.
Here's a couple I'll throw out here as well, just because I know we've talked about them. Liam Francisco being one, running for Ryan Perry Motorsports. Alvaro Medeiros was a top qualifier at Rock Vegas just last weekend as well. Those are just 2 other drivers I think you're probably going to see in the fight.
Without a doubt. And again, with the micro category, you're going to get the regular guys that have been up front all year long, but there could be a sleeper in there that kind of just connects with the racetrack,
yep.
Gets really comfortable with racing in the barriers and in Vegas.
Yeah, you mentioned drivers, David, that are international as well. Joey Zhu from Auckland, New Zealand. We've got Amin Pantoli coming with Velocity Racing from France as well. So I love the international field. That was kind of the big shift for the SuperNationals. It was a really an American/Canadian kind of thing for the longest time, and maybe I think when we kind of got to Sam Boyd Stadium, when some of the European factory drivers like a Marco Ardigo, those guys started to come over, Jonathan Tanan. That's kind of when things started happening in the mid-2000s. But now, as we know, international fields every year.
Well, so far it's been USA for the last 4 years, but we did see Brazil, Great Britain, and Australia pick up wins. The funny part about looking up Pantoli, how do you say that name? Pantoli. Yep. The kid has 35,000 followers on Instagram already, and he's 10 years old. So awesome. Obviously, social media is a big part about becoming the next superstar. This kid is definitely looking good on that avenue. We'll see. I wasn't able to really find any results, so I'm assuming he's doing well in France, but we'll see how he adapts to the atmosphere here in the USA. The
wild card this weekend, Amin Pantoli on the Sodi card. We have no idea. We'll see. All right, folks, another break in the action. When we get back, we'll dive into it. Mini Swift after this break. You know his name from 20 years of winning big races and national championships. Jordan Musser is a 4-time Rotax Max National Champion and has 5 SCUSA Pro Tour titles to his resume. Over the past 12 years, away from karting, he's also been busy with contract work in varying areas of engineering, motorsports, and executive leadership. All of this experience has led the industry veteran to form Musser Technical, rolling out Mustech Pro karting products this year. The first product released by Musser Technical is focused on support for the AIM Sports Smarty Cam systems. Mustech has 3 major categories of products: a bespoke camera mount, wire harness, and a battery and mount system. The Mustech camera mount comes with both weld-on or clamp-on mount styles, and both are SCUSA approved. The wire harness has an integrated push-button power-off and does not require a data hub, as the power connector for the battery is integrated, really tidying up the wiring. To complete the package, Jordan has sourced a top-quality power sports battery and mount, all housed in a metal cage that bolts to the back of your seat, out of the way. It weighs under 1 pound and will power the camera for 2.5 hours of recording. A fast charger for the battery will be available by the SuperNationals. Camera mounts for air-cooled engines are currently in the R&D phase. Head to mussertechnical.com to see the entire product line and learn more about Mustech Pro karting products. Klotz Lubricants has a long history in the sport of karting, with over 60 years of developing products for the motorsports industry. A new product introduced by Klotz combines its technology with the knowledge and experience of one of the sport's legends, Lynn Haddock. The new Haddock Special Formula 2-stroke engine oil is blended at the Klotz facility in Fort Wayne, Indiana. The blend uses a formula that Lynn developed and refined throughout years of racetrack testing. The 2-stroke engine oil is designed specifically for karting engines, using a proprietary blend of synthetic and castor-based oils. The synthetic-based oils provide wear protection at low temperatures, and the castor-based oils provide wear protection at high temperatures and high RPMs. The fluid is anodized to mitigate corrosion and deposit formation and can be mixed with either gasoline or methanol. The new Haddock Special Formula from Klotz is available now through the KlotzLube.com website and will be coming to many kart shops across the country in the near future. Klotz and the Haddock Special Formula, bringing together decades of experience to the karting industry. Back at it for episode 99, our first of 2 outlaps to preview this coming, a week and a half now, Superkarts USA SuperNationals. It'll get rolling the next Wednesday, a week from today. Drivers will be on track on the 12th. Rob Howden here alongside David Cole as we kick off our EKN Trackside coverage with a class-by-class preview. 4 of those getting done today, the remainder in tomorrow's show. Mini Swift, David. Let's dive into that one, sponsored by NABS Creative. 48 drivers in total. Throw out some of the winners we've had over the last couple of years because it's a pretty solid list. Now, most recently, Benja Fernandez last year in Mini Swift. Royce Vega, who has moved up and, of course, is doing extremely well, working his way forward. Michael McGoy did a bunch of racing overseas. Enzo Vidmontien, Kai Sorensen. How about Brent Cruz, who's been racing in the Trans Am series and doing some stock car racing. Some kid named Connor Zilich back in 2017 and Thomas Navu back in 2016 as well. Zilich probably out of that whole group the most well-known. And let's put it this way. Connor's been in the news over the last 4 or 5 days, David.
Yeah, probably for not being able to race, right?
Ridiculous. Yeah, you can win it. You can win in the second level class and prototypes at Daytona 24. You can win 10 races in the Xfinity series. Well, you can't test a hypercar. No, but it doesn't make any sense.
You know, Rob, I've always said the FIA was full of it, didn't I?
Oh, dude. And ACUS, you know how many times?
Well, that's kind of
ACUS doesn't have the connection.
How does ACUS not have the backing? But like, why give this man anything he wants?
That's exactly. Let him test a
right
Formula One car for God's
sake. Is it because he's not? Is it like soccer where he doesn't have the right sponsorships paying? But he's sponsored by Red Bull.
I was gonna say he's a Red Bull athlete.
Like I don't understand that. Like he literally could be a F1 practice driver right now.
Don't you like the news that he put that they've already started potentially talking about an Indy 500 run? Like the kid's not even run a Formula car before that I know. I don't know he's been in a Formula car. I love it.
I don't think he has. No.
Yeah. Well, it worked for what do you call it, Larson. So let's get Connor out there. I love it. This is the Mini Swift days. You go back to the days from 2015 and before, when it was Tag Cadet at that point, and other big names who have moved on in their careers. Johnny Edgar being one. Logan Sargent, of course, going on to run Formula One. Patricio Award, a winner in the Tag Cadet category back in 2010. We know what he has done, of course, marching his way up through to the IndyCar Series and next champion, but of course now multi-time winner with Arrow McLaren, and will eventually get his 500. But David, that begs the beginning of our preview for who's going to be good now. Pro Tour champion, Winter Series champion, Enzo Di Gennaro. Let's get started and kind of work our way through some of the guys you think we'll be seeing up front in this mini category. It's a stacked field for sure.
Well, you won't see him if you read my preview.
No, this is the thing. I was waiting for you. Scrolling through. Why? Do you know why?
Moved up to junior.
Oh, my goodness.
He will be one of those drivers that are moving up to junior. Yeah,
I would have. How old is he? Is he bouncing up? Is he going up early? I didn't think he was that old.
I don't think he's that old either. But again, Rob, we don't have control of when drivers move up and when they don't. I'm trying to. My stats are not in order right now. He is 11 years old, Rob.
Okay, there you go. Yeah. All right.
So yeah, I would have liked to have seen the triple, winning the Winter Series, winning the Pro Tour, and winning at the SuperNationals. So, what's that?
Would have been badass. I like that.
It would have. Yeah, it would have. I think Zane Burgess did that in the micro division last year. I don't know if that is correct or not. He did win in the micro micro category at the SuperNationals last year, as he is one of two former winners in the field. As I mentioned during our micro Swift category, Zane Burgess and Maxwell Macha both winning in that category. Macha in 2023, Burgess in 2024. So they are the only former winners in this field of mini drivers, 48 of them set to battle. So definitely an opportunity for them to kind of pick up a second career victory at the SuperNats and be adding to that long list that you talked about of former drivers winning in the mini Swift category. Again, 8 different drivers over the last 8 years.
David, Maxwell Macha coming off, I don't want to call it a fully dominant performance at Rock Vegas, but he was very strong. He ended up winning all I think did he qualify on pole?
The only session he did not end up on P1 was qualifying.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But he won all 4 heat races and the main event. So Maxwell Macha, if there's a thing called momentum in motorsports and confidence, which we lean into a lot, he's going to have both of them in spades coming to Las Vegas, having such a great run on the Rio parking lot. Other drivers that were at Rock Vegas who you would expect to be in the fight include drivers like Santiago Orioli, obviously incredibly quick there as well. Other drivers, what else we got? Jaden Francisco, I think he'll be a kid that'll be in the fight a little bit too. Who else do you look at right now as guys we'll be talking about this weekend?
Yeah, Francisco, one of the drivers to finish second in the Pro Tour Championship behind Di Gennaro. So he comes in leading Team Canada. Win Godshock finished third. So he's been bouncing back and forth between the USA and Europe and a busy schedule that has seen him pick up a number of wins in European competition. We've already talked about Macho. He finished fourth in the SCUSA Pro Tour Championship, and Aston Wyatt finishing fifth this year, the RPG Nitro Kart driver. This will likely be his last cadet drive, as he is 12 years old already and has already done with some junior competition already in 2025. Yep. So those are the 4 of the top 5 drivers in the championship for the SCUSA Pro Tour in the field for this weekend. You got a number of drivers who finished well at the SuperNationals last year. Macha actually finished fourth in this category. So, he finished, we talk about, finished fifth in the Winter Series, finished fourth in the SCUSA Pro Tour Championship, also finished second in the USPKS Championship behind Jaden Francisco. You got to put Macha as probably maybe one of the favorites to come away with a possible victory. Not saying he's going to be my pick, but definitely one to put on the podium for sure. Going into predictions. If
you look at the SCUSA Pro Kart Challenge, you got, again, Luis Martinez, right? Who won the championship in the PKC, Nathan Ramirez, coming home in second in Scusa's kind of home series. Hudson Hidalgo, and he was part of the fight as well at the Rock Vegas event. Is Hidalgo coming? I don't see Hidalgo on the list here, so Hudson Hidalgo not on the list. What about Koa? Koa Saito, most definitely. He was hard luck weekend at Rock Vegas, but he's been really strong all year long. We saw him obviously at PKC. So you saw him at the Challenge of the Americas. There were a lot of national events. Finished 17th last year in micro. Dave, Koa's part of that big group of drivers who are coming up making their first their first mini start after running micro last year.
I'm sorry. What name?
Koa Saito.
Oh, Koa Saito. Yeah. Sorry.
Koa making the move.
Yeah. He's among the many micro drivers that are moving up that raced there last year. 16 in total raced in the micro division that are racing now in mini this year. So yeah, a lot of drivers, including a number of those that were on the podium. We've already talked about St. Burgess, who won last year in micro. You got Santiago Orioli, who finished second last year in micro. Godshock finished third in micro last year. Jaden Francisco finished fourth last year in a micro division, and then many others who finished top 10 and top 15 as well too.
Yeah, Liam Nakawati.
So
Cameron Johnson.
It was kind of what we expected going into the season. All these micro drivers moving up into mini, and many of them not even worrying about the rookie season slump and going right at the front of the competition, as we talked about. Francisco earning a championship in USPKS competition, and others being right there all season long.
What are your thoughts on a driver like Lawrence Perriman, who is coming off a really strong run at Rock Vegas, had a big weekend at the Miami Grand National Championships as well? Again, confidence, right? The kid's coming in. He was running top 3, almost going for a race win at Rock Vegas. You build that confidence. The team's behind you. Get a feel for what the track's like on a temporary parking lot circuit. This could be a good shot for Perriman to find himself on the podium as well.
Yeah, again, using the year to kind of improve and get better, and that's something Perriman's been able to do, because last year he was 25th at the SuperNationals, or 21st in Micro Swift, and as you said, was top 3 racing for second there at the Rock Vegas event. So definitely has shown improvement each weekend out. Did a couple of international events as well too, to be able to kind of get that experience under his belt as well.
I'll just throw a couple of other names out here because we had them highlighted. Tanner Barsh, Texas Sprint Racing Series champion, I believe. Alexander Chandler as well. A driver was in the top 5 in that program. Back down, we scroll back down the order again. Out of Australia, you've got Oliver Williamson coming in as part of the international field. Ivor Spence as well, who's been in the top 10 before in the micro category from New Zealand. He was actually at Rock Vegas as well, so got a little more time on the track. Lucas Tarango, we've talked a lot about him throughout the year. And last but not least, I'm going to throw Asher Pavan out there. David, he was in the middle of the top 5 fight at Rock Vegas. Again, all about that, comfort within the barriers. It's a much different visual feel. And all the drivers, I think, that were up top 5 there at Rock Vegas are going to roll into the SuperNats with a good feel for that kind of racing.
Yeah, the Oliver Williamson, again, Rob, I love to look down at our Australian partners. He is the Cadet 12 champion in 2025. So nice. Australia is sending a few champions, just to be aware of that as we continue on in the categories.
Let's cap off with one of the feel-good stories from last year's SuperNats, and he's been running internationally. He's been doing a lot of amazing stuff, and that's Pedro Coito. Obviously, the young driver who had to get his leg amputated. He has not picked, figuratively and actual physically, has not lifted off the throttle, which is amazing. And we'll be back to the SuperNats once again. Looking forward to seeing him again. I haven't seen him since, I think, last year's SuperNats, maybe. But excited to see him get back to the racetrack again. Yeah,
I think he came to the opening round of challenge, maybe 2 of them. I'm not sure, but
yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, so making the move over to Team Bennick was with Forward Direction Motorsports, but now racing under the Bennick banner, making the jump up from micro to mini this year. Definitely easy to keep it on the throttle with the hand throttle that he does utilize. And they're always trying to come up with unique ways to kind of keep the leg in place. And so it'll be interesting to see, the type of changes they made in terms of throttle and obviously leg placement to keep his keep himself in the seat.
Yeah, that's one of the things too. We've had drivers over the last couple of years. In a little further back, you think about guys who were paralyzed from the waist down or legs down, or waist down or chest down, and you really have to be able to keep things in place so it's not bouncing all around, right? So that's one of the things we'll do. We'll dive a little deeper in the tech that they put together for Pedro to make sure that the leg that he has, the prosthetic, is kept in spot, and again how he handles the throttle, which I just think is fantastic. All around, just a tremendous story that we'll, of course, revisit when we get to the SuperNationals next week. Off to another break. When we get back, we're going to dive into KA100 Junior. 82 strong in the KA100 Junior category. I have based here on my entry, at least the number in the script here. I thought we said it might have been a little bit lower.
It's 72. Yeah, sorry.
It's 72. Let me highlight.
Lots of errors in this script here, Rob.
You are on the throttle as well, my friend. I know.
I got both throttles going, man.
You're driving the B-bomb, the twins.
The B-bomb, definitely.
Twin laydown right now. Anyway, KA100 Junior, sponsored by SimCraft. Up next. Made in the USA. That's exactly what you get from Precision Karting Technologies. Based in Detroit, Michigan, PKT brings over 35 years of manufacturing experience to the sport of karting. Their passion for the sport began focusing around the Kid Kart platform and has expanded every year with hundreds of products designed to put you on the podium. Precision Karting Technologies is known around North America for their successful line of axles, available in all age groups. PKT manufactures a number of engine products for Comer, IAME, Rock, Rotax, and the popular Briggs & Stratton 206. A wide variety of chassis components for the many brands in the sport are available through PKT, including hubs, pedal risers, skid plates, and other hardware for your kart. Axle straightening, chassis adjustments, engine service, and specific CNC machining projects are available through their Motor City headquarters. To learn more about the many products and services available from Precision Karting Technologies, head to pktaxles.com. Wins at the sport's biggest races, as well as championships across all levels of karting, pack the resume for Nitro Kart. The Nitro Kart brand has made its statement as the best, fastest, and most reliable cadet chassis on the North American karting market. If you want to win in cadet, both in 2-cycle and 4-cycle competition, get a Nitro Kart and join the team. Team Nitro Kart will be at all major events. Trackside with Ryan Perry Motorsport, the official race team. Owner Ryan Perry and his RPM operation carries the full selection of Nitro Kart chassis and parts, while also providing the same driver development focus as Nitro Kart owner Nick Tucker. You can also join the Team Nitro Kart race team at all major 4-cycle races this season. Led by longtime Nitro Kart tuner Cody Johnson, Team Nitro Kart will be at all the major Cup Karts North America events with arrive and drive opportunities available for all ages. Nitro Motorsports is a true karts-to-karts driver development program that is already gaining success after launching in 2022. Victories and championships in the Trans Am Series has highlighted the team's start, along with the success in the new GR Cup by Toyota. Current and former karters can take advantage of this unique ladder system with Nitro Kart and Nitro Motorsports. Visit Nitro Kart online and find them on social media. Nitro Kart, race one or chase one. Back at it with episode number 99 of the EKN OutLap, the first of 2 shows to preview this coming next weekend's SuperNationals, Superkarts USA number 28 in terms of SuperNationals. As you know, we are on the throttle here. I will say this, David Cole, once we get back after the SuperNats and get the debrief done, people don't need to call us for a couple of days because I know you're going to be just done and recharging. I will say that right now because you've been flat out for so long and we'll be through till the time we get back from SuperNats. KA100 Junior, 72 pre-entries as of now. Turner Brown, the winner last year. Last year was not Turner
Sebastian
Brown.
Garzone. That's where I made a mistake.
Garzone. Turner Brown won in 2023. Let's put it this way. Both those drivers having moved up, right? Great to see Turner and Alexander Vanchev jumping up at Rock Vegas to run against the senior categories. Stephen Miller, Jeremy Fletcher, Brent Cruz, and James Wharton, all winners over the last number of years. When you look at the Pro Tour points, Winter Series points, you talked about David drivers trying to win all 3. Not going to happen in the KA100 Junior either, because Alexander Vanchev for Rawls Performance Group swept both the Pro Tour and the Winter Series championships. As I just mentioned, he, along with Turner Brown, jumping up to the senior category. So fill us in on some of the stats, David, that you've been able to accumulate here, because we're not going to see Vanchev racing for a win in KA100 or X30 Junior.
No, we are not. So, no double or no possible trifecta for Vanchev in the KA100 Junior category. We'll look at X30 Junior tomorrow, but we'll be talking about many of the same names as Rob. There's 35 drivers racing both KA100 Junior and X30 Junior, with both categories opened up past that 44 mark. So a lot of double duty there in the junior ranks. We do have three former winners in the field. If we really want to focus on those who have already found success at the SuperNationals, ironically, they're in the mini and micro division. Right. Last year's mini winner, Benja Fernandez, moving up to the junior ranks after the winter programs. He'll be aboard the SLA kart racing operation with aboard a Kart Republic. 2022 winners, one in micro and one in mini, are also in the field. The micro winner that year was Jackson Gibson. He's now into his third year in the junior ranks. He got the opportunity to go from micro to junior without much mini situation because of his age. But unfortunately hasn't seen a very good finishing prospects in the junior ranks since. The 2022 mini Swift winner, Michael McGoy, we really haven't seen him except for in the press, being one of the top junior drivers in Europe this year, picking up pole positions, wins. Not sure about any of the WSK championships, but definitely has been among the top junior drivers all season long. He actually finished first in mini in 2022 and finished second the following year. So he hasn't been back to the Supernats since 2023 in the mini category. So we'll see if he can get back to remembering how to drive between the walls here in the USA.
If you look behind Vanchev in the Superkarts USA Pro Tour points, Travis Pettit in second and Max Weiland in third, Nate Dupuis in the fourth spot. The first two we're going to have here, both Max Weiland and Travis Pettit, will be right up there near the front. Pettit and Weiland have experience. Pettit finishing 22nd last year with 8th in the mini category a couple of years ago, having most recently joined the Rawls Performance Group, looking to step his program up to the next level. Max Weiland of David he got his best finish in mini a couple of years ago in finishing 26th and 22. Had a rough go of it. Didn't qualify 2 years ago. Wasn't able to finish last year. But Max Weiland in that Magic Kart USA machine, again, he really has, I want to say, kind of broken out. He's been one of those drivers you're always seeing up front in these junior categories. So this could be the breakout, not only nationally for Max Weiland, but also here at the SuperNationals as well.
Yeah, and the cool thing about Weiland, he's been racing over in Europe, racing with Magic Factory team. So getting a lot of experience. I think he's going to be going full-time European racing next year. So this could be kind of the swan song for him.
Copy. Racing
here in the United States, but definitely a driver that's been front all season long to be able to finish third in the championship.
Isaac Malkit coming off a dominant run in the Rock Vegas event, kind of walked away from everybody there, looking for a big run. He was second a couple of years ago in the mini category, the mini Swift, David, but last couple of years here in KA100 Junior, 27th last year, 32nd the year before. I would say he's lined up most definitely to get a much better finish here in 2025.
Oh, without a doubt. He's proven to be able to handle the temporary circuit last weekend with a dominant performance in the VLR junior category. So definitely he should be on the radar for everybody. He's also coming off victory at the RMC US Trophy Final as well.
Yeah, indeed. So who else do we want to go to here right now? Eric Doan scoring the win at Rock Vegas in the VLR 100 category, I believe, coming away with that one. after a penalty to Marco Samet Badone, who came from deep in the field after an issue in qualifying where he got into the wall, able to work his way through the heat races, and just really a fantastic progression for him, the way he was able to handle the track and the traffic, which I think will bode well for him on the PSL Karting Burrell Art Machine. I think that's the guy we got to look at. Giamatteo Rosso was right up. Actually, I think he led at least one lap at the very start of one of the races at Rock Vegas as well. He's got a couple top 10s. He's top 10 in micro, top 10 in mini. Could be a good weekend for Rosso as well for Racing Edge Motorsports.
Well, he actually raced the SV Pro category at Rock Vegas.
Right,
so
right.
He's moving back to the junior ranks for SuperNats.
13 years of age. I love it. Oh my
God.
You know,
anything goes in karting, right?
Whatever. Yeah.
Rob, one driver I am looking at is last year's top qualifier, John Antonino, who finished sixth. So he is the top returning driver from last year's event. As I said, he was the top qualifier, was up front all weekend long, just didn't quite was able to pull off the victory in that crazy battle they had in the junior ranks last year. So coming in as a stars champion in the OKN junior category, one more year of experience under his belt. He is 15 years old. I think experience goes a long way in this event for sure. First off, keeping it off the walls, and second, being able to muscle the kart around, because again, it's a temporary circuit. Depending on the amount of grip that gets laid down, if it's tricky, you got to be experienced at being able to handle the changing conditions all week long.
I'm going to throw three at you right now. Let's go to a couple of the regional champions. Matthew Cagle for Formula Works in the GFC, the Pro Kart Challenge champion from this year in the KA100 junior class, finished 23rd last year. Tyrone Kemper Jr., Texas Sprint Racing Series champion, finished 34th last year. Made the main event, but didn't have the result I think he probably wanted. Then you got a Canadian driver like Cole Medeiros, who was very, very strong as well at the Rock Vegas event. I think all three of those drivers are going to be unbelievably quick. And then, of course, if you're going to do that, you got to talk about Leonardo Serravalle. He was essentially out of the gate, outright the fastest junior driver at Rock Vegas on the real parking lot. I don't expect him to be any less quick when he gets there. Out to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and the Racing Edge Motorsports Cosmic. Both he and Serravalle and Medeiros running for Racing Edge were right at the top of their game and were up front the entire weekend.
Yeah, and another champion on the year, you look at Theo Salomeo, the Orsalon Racing driver. He'll be in the field as well, too. He has the USPKS title. But yeah, the Canadians, you talked about Medeiros, Serravalle, Edward Kennedy coming on strong, and Alexis I can never say his name. Belargeron. Those are a couple of really good drivers that could lead the way for Team Canada, who is yet to win in this category.
All right, I'm going to throw some names out, David. I'm going to let you come back with some of the big dogs from Europe that are coming over as well. But some of the other drivers we've seen up front, Kason Hodge, Tristan Murphy, and Nico Orbezo. We know both those guys were very strong at Rock Vegas. Luca Popescu and Jackson Porter. Both drivers had some pretty good breakout weekends throughout this season here as well. Valentino Santelian was good at Rock Vegas. Braden Wagner, David Ybarra was one of the strongest drivers in the Texas Sprint Racing Series. Ashamoon, you got to throw Ashamoon out there because this is a kid that moving up into the junior ranks has been unbelievably quick. Finished second last year on the podium at the SuperNationals in the mini category. He has never finished outside the top 11 in 4 SuperNational starts, with 5th in micro, a couple of 11th place finishes in mini over the last couple of years, second last year. It's his debut this year in the junior category, Dave, but Asher Woon is on top of his game, and I don't think he's going to miss a beat rolling into Las Vegas in a week's time.
Yeah, and he's focused most of his energy in the X30 side of things, but he's doubling up for Vegas, and hopefully he's going to cash in.
Okay, Dave, let's talk some of the big dogs with CIK World Championship experience and wins.
I also want to talk about Australia as well too, Rob, because we've seen it before. Australia comes in and wins the KA category, which the KA Karting Australia engine was made for. James Wharton winning this event, the inaugural event back in 2018. Australia is going to be sending their national champion Braxton Reagan on the Kart Republic to compete this year. So he could be a sleeper pick coming into this weekend. But also, as you mentioned, the FIA drivers that are coming over to do double duty in both KA and X30. You got the world champion Noah Baglin from the UK, along with Dutch driver Dean Hogendorn, racing both categories. They're both for Prema Racing, which I believe they'll be racing under the MPG tent throughout the week in Vegas on the Kart Republics. But again, these are two drivers that do have a lot of attention on them in Europe and around the world.
So you can, this was a long segment, folks, and you could tell why this category is so stacked. You and I went through, I want to say probably 30% of the field there, all drivers with strong resumes, all drivers have done incredibly well over the 2025 season or have experience at the SuperNationals and have been able to either have that experience first and foremost, making the main, whatever it may be, or even finishing in the lead, top 10 or on the podium or race wins in years past. So I'll tell you, KA 100 Junior is going to be a banger for sure. One more segment to go before we cap off this first edition of the OutLap for this year's SuperNats. After this break, David and I will be back to break down Master Shifter. The new face of competitive karting in the Pacific Northwest region is RaceLab. The full-service karting operation is located at the state-of-the-art Kartplex facility in Oliver, British Columbia, Canada, providing everything you need to hit the track or put yourself in a successful driver development program. RaceLab is the official North American distributor for the TB Kart chassis brand, providing the full range of models from kid kart to shifter kart. Villeneuve Racing Karts is their flagship product, available only through RaceLab. The brand carries the name of Formula One champion and Indianapolis 500 winner Jacques Villeneuve, with each model produced by TB Kart. Kartplex, the home of RaceLab, is situated on the grounds of the Area 27 Motorsports Park. From full arrive and drive TB Kart rentals to leagues and competition karting, the facility provides a new home to developing the future stars of motorsports, all beginning at Kartplex with RaceLab. Follow RaceLab on social media on Facebook and Instagram, or load up their website at www.theracelab.ca to learn more about TB Kart and Villeneuve Racing Karts. RaceLab. Race with us, win with us. Established in 1999, PSL Karting has become a powerhouse within the karting industry for North America and around the world. PSL Karting is your complete source for all Burrell Art products as the North American importer, providing this top quality product through both their expansive dealer network or through the PSLkarting.com online store. Whatever you need is available 24/7 online, including safety gear, parts, components, and full karting packages. All three brands, Burrell Art, Ricardo Kart, and Charles Leclerc Karts, are in stock and ready to hit the track. Grab your winning chassis for any category by visiting PSLkarting.com to find your nearest dealer. PSL Karting is always looking for interest in new dealers and teams to help create new business relationships. Drivers looking to take their talents to the next level can join the Burrell Art North America race team, competing at all the major US and Canadian events this season. When you're ready to win, go with PSL Karting. Back at it for the final segment of episode 99 of the EKN OutLap is myself, Rob Howden, and David Cole. Dive into our first preview podcast of 2 for this year's Superkarts USA SuperNationals, edition number 28. The event starting back in 1997. Let's cap off the show here with a preview of the Master Shifter category, sponsored this year by Kart CRG USA. One of the wild things is this category has been around for a number of years. Within the program. It's been G1, G2, S4, Master Shifter. It's gone through the Mod Moto days, the ICC days, the Stock Honda days, back into the KZ program, the IME 175. There's been a lot of stuff going on with Master Shifter, but again, great to see a number of drivers, 41 entries strong. Last year, Billy Musgrave, David, let's just talk about that before we go into the other big names that have won over the last couple of years. Pretty historic win for Billy Musgrave last year.
Yeah, last year was his 5th career victory, first in the category after winning Pro Shifter 3 times and also S2 back in 2012. So Billy Musgrave been winning here for over a decade. The all-time winningest driver at the SuperNationals, surpassing Danny Formal, Kip Foster, and Connor De Felipe, the other 4-time winner at the the first ever 4-time winner at the SuperNationals. So
yeah, Davide Foray has been a winner before, and Antonio Pizzonia Jr., former F1 driver. Joey Wimsett, of course, was one of the top pro drivers in shifter kart racing for many years. Came back in Masters and won there. The Kiwi Matt Hamilton came in and stole victory one year. Rob Logan, Mr. America, grabbed one, and of course Ryan Kinnear back in 2017 as well.
Yeah, and actually, in total, we do have 5 former winners in the category.
That's awesome.
Musgrave, the only former winner of the class. We can go all the way back to where does Jaskol go? It's 1998. 98. The K2 winner, which was basically the ADCC Junior category back then. So Matt Jaskol making a return back to the SuperNationals. We were talking to him last weekend, made a last-minute deal. Going to be racing the Leading Edge Motorsports CRG that Brent Cruz raced at the Summer Nationals. So it should be a fast machine. Jaskol's hasn't aged a bit in terms of physical fitness. Looks like he's been the same person that we saw him back when him and Rossi came back to the SuperNationals back in 2015 or 2016. Might have been. Yeah, I think it was 16 that they may have been 15 they came back, so 10 years ago. So he's definitely one of those drivers with one of the most starts. Not quite the Bonner Moulton or Howie Idelson, but right up there in terms of number of starts at the SuperNationals.
You think of some of the names that we've seen. Again, we mentioned already. Let's bring up again Davide Foray, again, former world champion running for ITEL Kart, winner a couple of years ago, 3rd last year. In fact, when he finished in the top 10 in KZ back in 2021. But Foray is a driver who loves coming over to be part of the action here in the U.S. Loves the SuperNationals. Back on board with ITEL Kart. Always been in the middle of the fight, and will be a factor for sure. Fellow ITEL Kart driver Scott Hargrove. Been working hard all year to try to get back to the actual pro side of the category. Ran the Summer Nationals, the Winter Nationals to kind of get things underway, get himself back in shape. But then David would go through the entire pro tour, coming away with the championship.
Yeah, he is the 2025 Master Shifter Pro Tour champion. Coming back to the SuperNationals, he did race Pro Shifter and Tag Senior, or X30 Senior. The last couple of years. So sat out last year waiting to get to that magic number to get into the Master Shifter category. So he's definitely one of the young guns, just finished in the top 5 at Rock Vegas in the pro category. Yeah. So definitely have to kind of factor him, obviously working with Davide Foray and the many other drivers that they'll have under the Talcart banner. Definitely will be one to watch. We have Foray, we have Jaskol, we have Musgrave, all former winners. Alan Shudo, one of those former winners a long time ago, back in 2002 in that same ADCC K2 category. He comes in as a 2-time former podium finisher in Master Shifter, 2nd in 2022, and then last year finishing in the 5th spot. So definitely one of those drivers to watch to maybe possibly pick up a 2nd career victory. And then John Crow, Crow Show, many podiums and top 10s in this category and the many different versions of it. He was a Tag Masters winner back in 2005. That was my 2nd ever SuperNationals, if that tells you how long it has been.
Sam Boyd Stadium?
At Sam Boyd Stadium, yep. Yeah. The 2nd year there. Crow, again, one of those drivers, 56 years of age, but still right up there with all the fast guys.
Let me throw this out there. We mentioned Scott Hargrove finishing 1st in the Superkarts USA Pro Tour. 4 of the top 5 in the Pro Tour are running. Scott Presti, Skitchy Barnes, and Larry Pegram all lined up to come run here as well. We know Skitchy Barnes has had some good runs, his best being 3rd back in 2022, a couple of 14th place finishes most recently. So the Bermuda driver will be aiming 100% to step up his game. Larry Pegram as well, looking to get back out of his best 12th a couple of years ago. We will not see based on what I'm seeing here on the entry list, we're not going to see Justin Kelly, but there's probably a reason for that, David.
Yes, there is. Very much unlike Ryan Norberg, where he just had his first child and he's at the racetrack every day, but that is his job. Justin Kelly does have a job within the motorsports world, but is not going to be at the SuperNationals. He is there probably tending to his firstborn child. So we do say congrats to the Kelly family. Both of them former racers at the SuperNationals. It was great to see them come back. And unfortunately, that's the part about being a parent. Not everything you get what you want, right?
Listen, I think they're pretty happy right now. So
we'll probably see them with the baby next year, right?
We'll say congratulations to the Kellys, Tiffany, of course, and their baby girl. I think it's Aria. I believe it's her name. So awesome for Justin and Tiffany. And again, I'm sure we'll see them back. They're both hardcore racers, so we look forward to seeing them back on track. So there's the top of the Pro Tour. But then, listen, there's just a couple of names out here. There's a guy that we should probably mention. He's done fairly well. I think he's got about 5 or 6 or 8 top 5s, but he's looking for that first win. If there's anybody out there, David, you think that kind of the paddock would be behind to see him win that first SuperNationals, you got to give it up for Jordan Musser. He's been second on numerous occasions, top 5 so many times. Jordan Musser, again, one of the legends in Superkarts USA racing and American karting. Not only does he have a handful of Superkarts USA Pro Tour championships, Is it three, David, Rotax Grand National titles as well?
Well, it was 3 in a row.
3 in a row.
And he has 4 because he added a DD2 title to that as well. So, he's a multi-time Rotax Grand Nationals winner. And as you said, 5-time Superkarts USA Pro Tour champion as well.
David, 8 top 5s. I just looked at your notes here. 8, your spreadsheet. 8 top 5s for Jordan Musser. That's amazing.
Yeah, he's been... And the hard part is, Rob, is he's been racing. I just lost my there we go, my sheet there. He's been racing this category since 2011. So it's been year after year of coming in as one of the favorites and then not getting there.
So close.
He's seen a driver like Rob Logan come through and pick up the victory, or some others, and he's seen a multi-time world champion come in, Davide Foray, and take the win away in 2023. Was kind of there, had some issues. I think it was in qualifying that he had to drive his way up through the field. Ended up only getting up to 13th last year, but definitely he came over to the Summer Nats, dominated both days there to be able to pick up the wins there. So winner, champion at the Stars Championship Series. So he definitely has the speed. It's going to be interesting to see again if he's able to kind of put it all together. But definitely, if he does end up on the top of the podium on Super Sunday, it is going to be a party you do not want to miss.
100%. We've talked a lot about Rock Vegas and having the success there. They ran a Master Shifter category that also had a Super Master Shifter class. In fact, the top 3 in that Super Masters category actually finished 1st, 2nd, and 3rd overall. So I'll just shout out all 3 of those drivers: Kevin Woods and Patrick O'Neill with Ron White Racing, and Morn Von Talk from VTM Racing. Those 3 drivers, passionate shifter kart drivers. They were up top there, so don't count them out at all. Last but not least, maybe a Jonathan Vitolo, 6th place last year on the GFC. Jonathan, if he puts it all together, could be a podium challenger and maybe even a race challenger as well. Last but not least, how about Christopher Mann? We see him a lot in single speed racing, David. Got him lined up here for a Master Shifter run.
Yeah, we'll have to confirm with that.
Yeah.
I'm guessing maybe the KA Masters sold out, so he decided to go shifter racing.
I like it.
We'll see what kind of experience he does have with that. I'm being told that he is going to be racing at the Rotax Grand Final, so we'll have to see if that's happening. If he got the ticket in place of somebody else. One final name, Mirko Mazzoni.
Yeah.
That could be a sleeper pick. He's been he's been on the podium a couple times in the past, over a decade ago. So it's been a while since we've seen him at the SuperNationals. He's actually raced over in Europe at the World Championships. So been one of those top 10 drivers in the World Championship, so he could be another sleeper pick here going into SuperNats.
Only 42 years of age as well. He came in like really early. Obviously, was in his early 30s when he jumped in there. It's got a couple of top 10s, like you said, third, I want to say, back in 2015. So, yeah, Mirko Marzoni for sure on the ITEL course as the driver we will expect to be in the fight. David, that wraps things up for this first edition. Dude, I know you are flat out right now. You are banging out previews. You're banging out scripts for these shows, producing them, getting it up there. I do appreciate it. I know everybody does in the karting industry, all the effort that you put in to provide all this coverage. And I know that once we get on the ground, we'll kind of chill out a little bit and get to work. But I know you're flat out here to the end, but I want to thank you for all the effort you're putting in, man. It's awesome stuff.
The only thing that drives me is all the comments I get when I arrive. And why didn't you put me in the preview? Why didn't you predict me? So
yeah, please. I just worked my ass off for like 18 straight hours. Yeah, feel free to rip on me for not putting in the preview.
Yeah, the nice thing is I'm kind of helping you here with the predictions because we're not forcing it on you right away. So you are going to have a little bit of time here, Rob. Deadline is definitely going to be Sunday. So we can build the graphics and have them ready to go up Monday while we're traveling.
Well, I know what I'm doing. My weekend is going to be watching the Seahawks win another game.
The Bears too, of course.
Well, listen, yeah, you stuck one out there too. But listen, you sneak one out, and then Sam Darnold has like one of the best first halves ever.
That game, we were getting ready for dinner. I couldn't believe how they were smashing the Redskins. Now I enjoy that because the Redskins destroyed us last year with the Hail Mary. And, that was like beating me with a stick in the knee and taking me out for a year.
True enough.
But yeah, no, the Seahawks, man, they are for real. A lot of people now are swayed that way. Yeah. I don't know if I am or not. I kind of have to do the eye test. I haven't really been able to watch a game yet.
Understood. Well, listen, again, a weekend off before we head there. Not weekend off. You'll be working. You'll be working. I'll be working
on the road in Chicago.
100%. I got previews to do. We'll get the graphics ready for that. We will do our predictions. Everything's going to rock out when we get rolling on Monday heading to Las Vegas. But again, this is only the first of 2 OutLap preview podcasts. One more coming. David and I record that on Thursday as well. So again, lots going on. Dave's going to try to jam a little bit of personal stuff in as well on the weekend before he has to leave for a weekend and say goodbye to the family before we finally get to come home for the second half of November. Of course, Thanksgiving and on to Christmas. But again, lots to come, folks. Be sure to follow ekartingnews.com for everything during the Superkarts USA SuperNationals 28. We'll have the live stream as well, just the radio stream if you want to pick that up. That'll be the live audio call for Kart Chasers coverage. Looking forward to joining Xander Clements and his crew once again at the SuperNationals. I'm privileged to have announced the first 27 events and looking forward to being part of number 28 as well. Follow our social media platforms, as you know, hashtag EKN at SCUSA, hashtag SCUSA SuperNationals, hashtag SuperNats28. We'll use all of those and always hashtag karting, folks. Make sure everybody knows what we're doing. Today's preview brought to you by Parolin USA. Big thank you to them for supporting all we do at ekartingnews.com. David Cole, final thoughts before we cap this one off and look at the next one?
Yeah, it's not every day your son turns 18, so lots going on over here this weekend with that. So, yeah, can you believe it? The one SuperNats I missed back in 2007.
Yeah.
It's because of this young man that's now turning 18.
No kidding. I can't believe he's turning 18. That's absolutely crazy. Nuts. All right, folks, thanks for tuning in. And again, we'll be back for another one. You're going to want to go back to back on these shows because, of course, some of the big categories coming tomorrow as we dial into all the remaining classes that we did not touch on in part number 1. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We do appreciate it. On behalf of David Cole, my name is Rob Howden. Bye for now.